Hi, I'm Nick. I did the video production work for the 2020 New Hampshire Fiddle Ensemble virtual concert. And a lot of people have been asking me, well, how'd you pull this off? I can tell you that it was a labor of love. I had gone into it estimating or knowing that it was going to be a lot of work, and it was a lot of work and more. But again, no complaining, because it really was a labor of love to get this done. I do want to give a big shout out at the beginning, though, to Ellen and Melissa, who did an incredible amount of work just getting to the point where we could actually start doing some recording. The putting the arrangements together and doing all the coordination, getting 70 musicians moving in the right direction at the right time, and in 7 different locations was just an incredible amount of work. So you could just imagine what it was like to do that. And I really do want to give a big shout out to the two of them. A lot of the work was done prior to. Some of the recording was actually done prior to us actually getting out into the field to do the recording. And I know Ellen did an awful lot of audio editing to make this happen. So big shout out to both of them to get it done. I can't overstate the thanks that I have and my gratitude for getting to that point. All right, so how do we do this? If we think of the field recordings that we did, those are the ones that kind of look like this. We recorded 7 groups doing sessions of 9 songs at each of 5 different locations. 2 in Exeter, New Hampshire, plus we also did a test flight just to make sure that the process that we were doing was going to work. We did 2 at Grapponi Toyota in Manchester, New Hampshire. We did 1 in Gilmanton, New Hampshire, 1 in Scarborough, Maine, and then the last one in Kittery, Maine. Each session was a 3-camera shoot, resulting in 3 cameras times 9 songs times 7 groups equals about 170 videos. With all the redos, the false starts, things like that, we wound up with about 240 raw footage video files, which included some of the a cappella stuff that I'll be talking about in a second. We had over 110 still pictures, about a dozen backing tracks, and those were audio files that were prepared either beforehand or afterwards, and about total of about 14 hours worth of raw video. And we worked all that stuff into a video that's about an hour long. Additionally, one song, Buck Fever, and parts of 4 others were done using an app called Acapella, which ran on people's iPhones. Basically, the way that worked is one of the coaches started, recorded a session, then passed that recording on to the next person who recorded on top of that, and the next person who recorded on top of that. So you can imagine the amount of coordination that was required in order to be doing that. This resulted in the Hollywood Squares types of things that look like this. Once we had all the video recordings done, it was time to move into my office and start the editing process. I used an application called VideoPad Editor. I'm an HP desktop computer running Windows 10, and you can't see the computer, but it's sitting under here. You did it on a desktop, and as you can see, I've got some fairly large monitors to work with. Even though they're large, I ran out of real estate many times trying to do this stuff. So if you're gonna consider doing something like this, big monitors are the key. We started out with about 14 hours worth of video. I think I mentioned that before. And the final show was about 55 minutes. So there was a lot of stuff that was actually left on the cutting room floor. Although I got to tell you, with the 4 corners thing, it wasn't as much as you might think. The 4 corners being the 4 corners of the video. As far as the editing process itself, I'll use Amelia as an example for this and show you what that looked like. So for Amelia, we started out with 14 field recordings. You can see those along the left side of your screen. Manchester Group 1, Manchester Group 2, and those are the cameras that we use, Cam 1, Cam 2, things like that. We combined those into 4 videos, put those into 4 videos. And those were then taken and made the upper left, the lower right, the four corners, if you will, of the videos that you saw. For the center video, for that center panel, we started out with 3 videos plus a number of stills that we incorporated in there, and made that into that center panel, if you will. Additionally, there was a combined video that we made of Jane playing the melody, and then Melissa and Barbara playing a harmony. So that piece was a separate piece that we made that was then incorporated into that center panel, of Amelia, the stuff that shows up in the middle. All that stuff was then mushed together and created a combined Amelia panel, or Amelia recording a video, if you will. The way that video pad works is, as you're building the video, you're actually building a framework or a set of instructions that it uses to go out and collect various pieces of the recordings and build them into a video. That processing, or once you push that button and actually create that final video, it's kind of a processing step that video pad does on its own, but it does take a while to do. And I spec'd out my computer and put a bunch of processing power into it. But even though it has a lot of horsepower, it still took a bunch of time to actually do that processing. So Amelia took about a half an hour or so to actually create the file itself, create the video itself. Amelia was then taken, combined with all the other things that are in the concert first half, the introductory part that we did, the song intros, the testimonials, the kids jokes, things like that. And we built a framework around that, and then hit the processing button, and that process took about an hour and a half to do. Luckily I didn't have to sit here and watch it the whole time or actually do anything, but I could go out and have a cup of coffee or whatever, but it did take a while for that to do, and sometimes it got a little frustrating to have to do that. That first half, once it was created, then we created the second half, combined that with the first half, along with the PSAs and the logos from the sponsors, and kind of built that into a video, combined everything together, and that itself took about an hour or so to process. And then we uploaded to YouTube, and the uploading process took a lot longer than I thought. It was quite a sizable file. I can't remember the exact size of the file, but it was somewhere between 3 and 5 gigs, so it's a pretty big file. And uploaded it to YouTube. The uploading itself took about an hour and a half, and then YouTube had to do its processing, so that took about 3 hours. So people have asked me what my favorite parts of the video are. I've got a lot, but I think there's 3 that really stand out in my mind. One is Alex and Tom singing side by side. Another is Lauren, Rebecca, and Karen singing Walking in My Sleep. Remember, these 3 women were in 3 different places. So these were videos that were shot at 3 different times in 3 different places, many, many miles apart. And I thought they did a great job just being able to keep up with each other, to time each other, and to sing together. I thought it came out wonderful, especially the harmonies on that one. And then my absolute fave was Mary talking about her traumatic brain injury and how it temporarily robbed her of the ability to enjoy and play music, and the gift of music. How she regarded it as such a gift. So I want to end this with another shout out to Ellen and Melissa for the incredible amount of work that they did to pull this together. I keep saying that they're the real heroes, not me. Melissa keeps calling me a hero. But they're the heroes, not me. I think, the way I'd like to put it is they prepared the ingredients and set the table, and then the 3 of us together, along with everybody else that participated, made the meal for people to enjoy. So I'm hoping that you'll all enjoy it too. If you want to catch the video, go to www.nhfiddleensemble.com. It's right there on the front page, so you'll be able to see it. Or you can go to YouTube and search for NH Fiddle Ensemble, and it'll pop up. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope you got something out of it. And were able to understand some of the things that we were saying here. So you all have a great day, enjoy, and keep the music rolling.